Hello and welcome. It's Carnage, and I just received my retro Televipers. So I'm excited to take a look at them, do some shooting with them, and talk about my main line Televipers, some of the differences, and what I plan to do now that I have 4 of these. Let's get right into this. So, as most of you probably know, if you've watched my videos before, I like to troop build to 4. These guys were not available without purchasing a treble bubble, the original guys back here. So I knew I wasn't going to build up to 4. I don't have room, and it's just too much money to spend on a treble bubble. So I decided I wanted 2. I don't really need 4. So that left me with 2 Televipers. I got these guys back here. Let's go ahead and get into these guys real quick before we get into the new guys. Now, the new guys basically have head sculpt options that only have any variation with the display. So they're all 3 of the head sculpts that come with this guy are the same light skin tone. So I decided I wanted to use the darker skin tone for one of my Televipers, and I really like all the tech that the older release has, a bit more than the new release. And then we have, I believe, it's sort of a virtual reality controller, but for a treble bubble, but it could be a lot of different things. And then he also has the console on his arm. That's a really great looking piece, and I've got that much better in some photos. And I decided to swap out the red cable on his jammer, and also decided to use the new backpack, and we'll get into why. Okay, let's take a look at these new guys. So there's a lot of new tooling. The legs are pretty much the same, but we have a whole new chest. I believe the arms are the same, minus the console that the original guys have that the new guys don't have. So as I said, the torso piece is different. He's got the zipper on his chest, and of course the neck piece is going to be different too, because it also has that zipper. Pretty much that, and then of course the vest is completely different. And I'm kind of digging the older vest a little bit more, but the new vest certainly does not obstruct with the articulation, the ab articulation, as much as that older one does. So I would say overall it's an improvement. Now, let's go ahead and turn this guy around so we can take a look at his backpack, because it does have some paint apps that the older one did not have. And we also have the silver hose that attaches to that backpack. I believe the weapon, which is a jammer, frequency jammer, is the same. I don't think there are any changes there. And I do believe that the helmet is exactly the same. The head sculpt is exactly the same. So really, the main variant as far as the tooling goes is torso and the neck, and the belt. I didn't mention that. The belt is completely different as well. Let's take a look at the older belt that has a lot more. We got some kind of phone there, and we got some pouches. Not so much happening on the back, but quite a bit going on with the front part of that belt. And then the newer belt has the really great looking Cobra logo with the paint app, so that really pops. And it does have sort of a purple paint app there, which is sort of I'm not sure what the purpose of that would be. Maybe to give it a little insulation and a little comfort, and also a really cool aesthetic, of course. So some new pieces there: belt, vest, neck, and torso. And I had a backpack that had a little issue going in, so I decided one of these guys should probably have a weapon. And I spent some time looking at my different weapons, trying to really figure out what would work best. And this is also one of the alternate helmets here, by the way. What would work best in terms of the aesthetic. And these are the weapons from the 2-pack of the Steel Corps Commander and the, dang it, what do they call that guy? Anyway, I have to look it up to tell you, but the guy the Cobra guy, who is Cobra Commander's bodyguard, who comes in the Steel Corpse pack. These are his weapons, which originally are Gung Ho's weapons, of course, repainted. But I think all three of those weapons have been repainted in the purple and black color scheme, and all three work equally as well with a Televiper. I figure if I'm going to have 4 of these guys, which is now somehow I've hit my troop building number for Televipers. If I'm going to have 4 of these guys, one of them should probably be armed with something more than a frequency jammer. And I like that the alternate head sculpts give us a little bit of a different look. This guy is sort of distinctive with his sneer. So, you know, you get 4 of these guys doing the exact same sneer, and it looks kind of goofy. So anything that we can do to variate them a little bit, I think is quite good. We haven't really taken a look at the high-tech Televiper here, so let's go ahead and take a look at him while we're here, because I think he's pretty great, really. So there we see the console on his right arm, and of course the black mask matches his jet black skin quite well, and it's got sort of an ominous high-tech look. And like I said, I went ahead and used the newer backpack with the silver paint apps. I think that looks really good. So I also took the Python Patrol red hose from that Televiper and decided to give it to this guy. And I think it matches the red paint apps on his mask quite well. It's just a good look overall. So now I've, without really thinking about it, hit my troop building magic 4 number with my Televipers, and with some of my troop builders factoring in my retro figures, I'm suddenly finding myself over my troop building number, and I'm wondering what I'm gonna do, because my collection is getting rather large and I would really like to create some space. So I'm gonna be figuring out what I'm gonna be probably getting rid of. You know, I just start to think about how many Vipers I have now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do I need 8 Vipers? Am I ever gonna put 8 Vipers in a photo? Probably not. So going to be thinking about that. I don't really have any thoughts in particular about what I'm going to be getting rid of, but I need to make some space. All right, folks, thanks for watching. I'm really digging these Televipers. I think just combining them is the way to go. And, you know, as far as the retro goes, I'm going to give that guy probably an 8 of 10. Would have been cool to see some kind of new piece, some kind of new comm piece for the Cobra folks would have been really great. But overall, really great changes and a good addition to our blue shirt Cobra faction, who's really quite large now. All right, folks, thanks for watching. We will review something else here real soon, or maybe do something else fun. Curious how many Televipers you have and what you're doing with your Televipers. Carnage over and out. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have a kind of MIF Televiper climbing to the top of those modular fortifications. And here again, those fortifications in the background, making nice diorama pieces for G.I. Joe classifieds, for sure. Combined with vehicles, they really do make some great backdrops. All you really have to come up with is the weather there, as you can see, and some light in the background. And here's one of the old school Televipers. Again, a good shot of that device on his arm. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll do this again soon.